Good morning, all of you. We are basically going to discuss how you can use the rigid dynamic cell in the latest version that is being released from ANSYS, that is 2020. Speaking about rigid dynamics, rigid dynamics basically is a way where you can do motion analysis or you can do kinematic analysis in ANSYS Workbench. Uh, so let us go into the hands-on session, like how basically one can use the rigid dynamic cell. It's very simple. You have to just scroll down the analysis systems and just open rigid dynamics, drop it here. There you go. So cell is visible. I will just import a geometry file which has already been made by me. So I'll import, this is the name of the file. It's an actuator. So it's a design modeler file. So I will just select it. Now I will directly go to model cell. Okay. So as I directly go to model cell, it will take some time to load. So what actually is rigid dynamics basically means all the components in your mechanism, they are going to be rigid. For example, the 4-bar linkage mechanism, that is most common. So all the linkages, they remain fixed, they don't change in the geometry. That's what is called as rigid dynamics. Okay, so yeah, so now it has opened my model cell. So we are into the mechanical window of the model cell. So if you can see in the latest version, they are basically made it more user friendly, and it looks to me like uh, many of the modeling softwares now they have these ribbon tabs at the top, so it has been slightly user friendly. Okay, so now let us move ahead. Now what you have to do is, when you come under this, under connections, in contact, just select the plus symbol aside contacts. Now remove all these contacts. Now these are all surface contacts, we don't need the surface contacts for rigid dynamics, so I'll just delete it. Okay, and we are going to basically provide joints. So we have revolute joints, translation joints. Now what is this actually thing? So this thing is a flywheel, which I'm going to make the solver understand that this is a flywheel, so it will rotate. So this is basically going to do the driving force of the entire thing. So you can say actually this is the actuator. Okay, and this is linked to all other linkages as seen here, and then at the end the output will be, this will be translating. Okay, now what you can observe here, the drive which is there, now it actually in real practice it would be connected to some other like some other assembly. It can be a gear mechanism, so that this drive or the flywheel will rotate continuously. Now in practice, if you see, we have not provided the other connecting member for this. Okay, there are two types of joints here. You have body to body and body to ground. So body to ground joints you give to those components if any of the component is missing. For example, here now if I try to provide a revolute joint, now revolute joint will be provided across the cylindrical surface. Okay, now since the other component is missing, hence I will be basically going for this the body to ground contact. So I don't have that gear mechanism here inside this, so hence that's why I will select this first contact to body to ground. And whichever components, if you're trying to give contacts, if both the components are present in the ANSYS workbench window, then we go for body to body. Okay, so let us now go ahead, go to connections. Now in connections, just select this contacts part so that our joints get allocated over there. Now before you give joints, make sure you go under views and highlight the body views, so that it will give us two different windows for selecting. Okay, so let us go to body to ground revolute. I will just select this, remember. Now make sure before you select it, the selection mode is turned on in phase control. So I'll just select this phase, and I will scroll down. You see here scope. So scope basically means which is the surface you are trying to allocate that joint. So surface is selected, that is highlighted in green color. Select this region and apply it. What you can see the coordinates z, x, y. So it means like this thing is going to rotate about the z axis. Now under reference body you don't see anything, because as I mentioned earlier, the other connecting members, maybe it may be a gear or it may be a motor, that we have not shown in the assembly, hence we have went for body to ground. Okay, now the next thing is we have to go for these two components. Now both the components are present, so we will be going for a body to body. And if you see, the joints are actually cylindrical, so wherever you have a cylindrical or a circular motion or rotary motion, we basically go for a revolute joint. Now let us go to body revolute. Okay, now what is the reference body? We have to be very clear with that. Reference body and mobile body. So let me just select this, and I will just select this region, that is a drive unit. Okay, now here the joint is existing between these two regions, so it is this pin. So as soon as I select the pin, you can see the coordinate system is getting allocated over there. So just select apply. Here also you have the z axis over here, and under the mobile body my surface will be this, but it won't be this surface. Initially I'm just selecting any of the surfaces so that I can see the particular component under this third window, and now I can drag it, zoom it, and select the surface. Okay, fine. So here also the z axis is this. Now why we have kept this, like now the question would be, sir, why we are getting reference body view and mobile body view? So it's just like this. Whichever was our earlier component. So our first component is this, so basically it is taking reference of this, and this is something which is going to be set into motion because of its rotational motion. So and this is coming under mobile body. Okay, now we'll go for the third joint. Here also, if you see, it's going to be having a rotary motion, a slight rotary motion. Why I'm saying it would be rotating? If you see this linkage angle, it's right now it's at some angle. Now when I rotate this, it will also come to a straight position, it will again go to some other angle, so there would be some minute rotational motion over here. Hence here also we'll be having a body to body. So go to body revolute, and as I did earlier, just scroll this, go to scope, and select this entity, but we don't need this. I will be selecting this one, press apply, and now I select this entity, but it should be under the mobile body. Okay, let me just apply it. Now it has come, but actually by mistake I have applied that face, that is not the face. So just select under scope, reselect it again, and now you can switch to the cylindrical face. Okay, now click on apply. There you go. So z axis is the rotational axis, so every time it's the rotational axis is going to be z. Now why is it so? Because everything is made in ANSYS itself, so I need not worry about the coordinate system. Irrespective, you can also make it in some other modeling software, as import as an IGS file and do it. Okay, it's not going to be a problem. Okay, now what you see here, you see a guide over here. The guide is going to be fixed, this thing is going to translate. Now why I'm saying that is, there is a reason for that. So here we'll go for another body to body. Now it's going to just go in the forward and backward, so we have to allocate a translation joint. So go to body, go for translation. Now see, now my reference, this is going to be fixed, right? So this is basically going to act as my reference. So now I will just rotate this, select this face, and apply. Now there is some problem here. Now just look at the global coordinate system over here. So look at the x. It means if I say it is going to translate in the forward and backward direction, my x-axis also should be same as the global coordinate system. I have to reorient it. So how you can reorient it? Just go to coordinate system, select this. I will select the x-axis first, then I will make it to the y orientation. That's it. Apply. So we get the x-axis orientation as the global coordinate system over here, so that means it is going to translate. Okay, so that is done. Now we'll go to the mobile. I hope so now it's clear why I took this as the mobile, because as I said, this is going to be fixed and this is only going to be translating. So here x is in this direction, that is correct, perfect. Apply. Now I will go for, now see, this is going to be fixed, but the fixing member, like you can assume in real practice, it may be welded, or there may be some other rigid connection to it which we are not showing in the ANSYS workbench. So here also I am going to go for body to ground. I will select this face and I will select apply, fix. Okay, now we need to provide here a, like there is some spring, so that if I have a spring here, this thing is set in continuous motion. So for that I have made already a coordinate system called as spring fix. I will let you know how I made this. It's very simple. You have to just go to coordinates, select the coordinate system, change this selection to global coordinates. I'm specifying the x. Now see what is my origin. So this was my first component in ANSYS Workbench, so hence this is taken as the global coordinate over here. So my x is 4000. If you look here, this will be shifting towards my x direction by 4000 mm. There you go. I'll just see the side view. Now if you look at it slightly oriented, I need this origin to be exactly at the center. Now I need to move in y direction towards the negative side, so I will write this as minus 185. That's it. That's exactly at the center. Nothing in z because it's exactly at the center position. So that's how you basically provide a new coordinate system. Okay, now I will just delete this thing. And I will press yes. So you have this new coordinate system. Now again you will go to contacts, and here you have the spring. Now under spring you will go to body to ground. Why? Because we have, so spring is going to connect here. We don't have the another member, but we just have a coordinate system. If you had another surface also, you could have surely gone for body to body. So body to ground, I'm assuming the stiffness values, I'm saying this is 0.005. Actually all these things you have to calculate by design methods, and you have to get it. For time being, let us just assume these values. And coordinate system here would be spring fix, reference, and my mobile body is going to be this. So I will select this, press apply. So there you go. So we have that particular member getting attached, that is our spring. Okay, now we are not doing anything with the mesh, we are keeping everything as default. I will go to transient analysis settings. I'll just make this to 4 steps. I will let you know why I'm keeping it to 4 steps. And I will go to, again I will select analysis setting, just select my right mouse button, insert joint load. Now we need a rotational motion over here, right? So which is the joint? So my joint is going to be my ground drive, that is this. You can see here, you can see that arrow of rotational motion. Type, we have different types. I will just go for rotational velocity. Now I need in RPM, so make sure you go to home, in units you are selecting RPM. It becomes easier to understand as compared to radians per second. I'll just keep it to 30 RPM. Under the solution tab, I'll go to insert deformation, total deformation. Okay, and that's it. So if you have made as I have given all the joints, it should work. Let us check it out. So just click on the solve icon. It will take for some time to solve, and mostly at the end, if everything is proper, if I click on the animation button, it will basically play the kinematics. Okay, so actual kinematics will be when this rotates, this thing should go in the forward and backward direction. So that is what we are trying to look, and mostly we would get it. So there you go. Let me just expand this a bit. Yeah, there you go. Okay, let me just zoom it. Now click total deformation and click on the play window. So there you go. So we have that motion. So this is the final output. This is how you can have rigid dynamics. Okay, now going back to why I gave 4 steps. So let us select rotational velocity once again. I will go to the tabular data over here. Now if you look here, I will just select this second last column. I will make it to minus 30. So when I make that to minus 30, the other cell also becomes as minus 30. Okay, I will it will be 30 itself. Okay, fine. Now I will just solve it again. So let us see what is the change we are getting. Okay, so right now in the previous case, when all the values were positive, it just moved in one direction. So actually the change that you are going to see is, when I rotate this, I go to graph, I will just play this. You see, let me just increase the frames a bit more. I'll make it to 100 frames. Time I will make it to 4 seconds. And now you play. So initially it goes in clockwise, that comes in anti-clockwise. So that anti-clockwise I was able to do with that negative sign. So that was one of the reasons I took 4 steps. So it's up to you. You can have only 1 step. Okay. So that's it. So now you can also save this as a video file. So what I will do, here you see just beneath the 4 seconds you have an export video file option. I will just export it. I will just give here a kinematics video new, okay, and click on save. It takes some time to save. You can see here at the corner save project. The save process is basically on. Okay, it's saved. I will just file. I will just exit this. Okay, I will go to my desktop, and let us go back to that rigid dynamics file. So where is that rigid dynamics? Here, double click on that file. So this was our video, kinematics video. Let us see how it looks. I will just right click, open with Windows Media Player. Yes, there you go. See, you can also export and save it to just share it with someone. And this was our new analysis. I will just double click and see whether everything is there, so basically make sure you are saving your project file, and all these things I'm doing in ANSYS 2020. To those who are having lower versions, the interface might be slightly different, but the commands, everything is same. Now you will have to just basically look for the separate tools that are there inside it. But ANSYS 2020, in my opinion, it's very simple and very user friendly. You can also try it. It's easily available in ANSYS website. Under students section you can download it. The file size is around 5.4 GB, and they give you to use it for 1 year. Only problem is with the number of node limits. You cannot use it for more number of nodes. That is one limitation that we have over there. Okay, so if you try to do more finite meshing, it won't basically solve. But still, it's a great way to explore the different possibilities in ANSYS 2020. Okay, so now I just go to model cell to just check whether like my file is saved properly. Did it also save the last thing that I did? I changed the positive negative values of the RPM, and it basically saves all the things that you did. So just to give you an idea how it looks like once it's saved and it opens, so everything remains there in place. It will take some time to open the mechanical window. Okay, so it all depends upon your processing. If you have a good processor and a good basically RAM, it won't be a problem. So let us just wait for a few more minutes, and it will just basically open. Yeah, there you go. So this is our model, total deformation. If I click on play, it should work. Yes, so there you go. So it's there. So everything is correct, perfect. So thank you for watching to this video. I hope so the rigid dynamics concept is clear. You can use this concept to apply it to some other mechanisms. Thank you.